Over the years, I've asked myself many times, am I going to become a CRO millionaire? Am I going to be able to make $1 million from this project? I've asked myself this, right? What's my exit plan look like and will it lead to being that crypto millionaire? And it's definitely interesting, right? Because as I think about how much I would need, and also what the overall price it can get to, um, things change. And I honestly hate when things that you don't believe are going to change, that were kind of outside the scope of, hey, this is going to happen, end up happening. Like, I hate when those things take place because while you have a plan built off of what CRO is going to do, what crypto.com is going to do, what they're going to implement, the supply that it has, the community, all of these things, you wouldn't think that something that that wouldn't change is going to change. Example would be the supply. I would think it would only change for the better because of the history, right? With the supply change now and them having the 70 billion that they burned off available out there, it now has changed for the worst, which means that um, it may not be the best situation and it may not be the prices that I believe it's going to get to because of this one thing that I thought that wouldn't change in a negative way. I thought if anything we would see more burns and obviously you would see a decrease in that supply. But an increase in the supply, that's an absolute game changer to what you had. Now, I still have an exit plan. I still believe I'm going to be able to make a decent amount from CRO, but the question still remains, am I going to become a CRO millionaire from it, right? Am I going to have that opportunity? Now, guys, hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Patreon at Perry8K, you can follow me over there. Don't forget about my link for BTCC if you guys are interested in trading things like CRO or Ethereum or XRP or something at up to a 500x leverage. You can do that on this platform. You can also get 10% deposit bonus when you specifically use my link down below, as well as extra bonuses up to $10,055 and 40% lower trading fees. So if you're looking for a low fee, you can have a little bit higher risk and get that higher reward. You can get that with this platform. So feel free to check it out. Link is at the top of the description. Now, CRO currently stands at 13.5 cents. It's at a $4.35 billion market cap with $29 million worth of volume. That gives us a volume to market cap ratio of 0.685%. This is kind of goes into that theory of not needing high volume in order to have a higher market cap. We've seen that, right? If it has holdability, if it has a reason to hold it and have it for the long term, then you don't necessarily need to see a crazy amount of volume in order to see higher market caps. But if you look at the supply, the total supply at 97.5 billion, circulating supply is now at 32.36 billion. So they've offered that supply out there. It is released, and now we have, maybe a little bit of an issue to some people, the way they see it. I don't necessarily see it as a issue short term. It just may be an issue long term, but then ultra long term, it could possibly, fall off, and then we see it as a net positive again. So that could be the case as well. But again, that's also speculation, and it's like what could go wrong. You could have some other things that go wrong as well. You never know. But that's where Chrono sits at 13.5 cents. Now, if we talk about my CRO, we're specifically talking about mine. You can have whatever opportunities you want. Am I going to have the opportunity to be able to become a CRO millionaire? And the answer to that is yes. I am going to have the opportunity to become a CRO millionaire. With how much I have about 450,000 CRO in my possession. So yes, I'm going to have the opportunity to become a CRO millionaire before taxes. After taxes, not so much, right? I'm going to have to pay off or pay out a lot in taxes because of those capital gains. It will be long-term capital gains for the most part, but it's still going to be a lot in taxes, which means it takes me out of that millionaire status. However, I will be able to gain $1 million from CRO and then have to, pay whatever. Now, that's opportunity. Will I actually become a CRO millionaire? That is the question. With having 450, you would think, yeah, you know what, for sure, you're going to get to a level of $3. And you get to a level of $3, that's over $1 million that you have. And you're not wrong, right? If I go and look at my position and I look at it in my exit plan spreadsheets, you guys can get this on Patreon if you guys want to. We go down to about the $3 mark, and that's $1.35 million. Yeah, have the opportunity. However, I feel like with the changes that are made, short term as well as long term, I don't know if I can accept what my previous exit plan was, which was get to $1.25, take my initial investment, take a little bit more, and then see the rest through as it gets to $3 and maybe even further, depending on what burns we end up seeing. Now, that's not really the case. Now we look at it and go, I have to recover my initial investment a little bit earlier. I have to collect my profit a little bit earlier. And I also want to collect profit before it hits maybe an unsustainable level compared to what the overall supply is, or total supply is. So I did this based on 44 billion, just basically saying when we get to these points, that's how much we'll end up having. So if I look at my plan, this is what I have as my plan. At a level of 55 cents, which would be a 24-ish, maybe even less, because it will be a little bit less supply at that point, because currently it's at 32, so it may be closer to 32 at those points. But either way, a 55-ish price point, I'm going to look at about $110,000 that I'm looking to take out from that 240,000, meaning that I'm taking out half my position. So the fact that I have an opportunity and what's going to be reality, that's kind of where I draw a line. I really don't know. I would say this is my plan as of now, but it all depends on what type of information they put out, how fast CRO is moving. But either way, 55 cents is looking like my price point to take out half my position. 95 cents would then be a level to where I'm taking out 100,000, which would be the other 1/3 of that position. Looking at about $95,000, giving me $100 or $205,000 from 55 cents, or from where we are to a level of about $1. As we get up to $1.45, right before $1.50, if it does get there, that's another 100,000, giving me a total of $350,000 that I decide to take out. And then also we have 50,000 that's left over. I don't have a plan for that, but I know that that's not going to give me the ability to become a crypto or CRO millionaire from it. So the ultimate amount that I'm going to make from it, that I expect to make, is somewhere around $350,000. And that's just my plan, right? And it's gone from becoming a CRO millionaire to now just making hundreds of thousands of dollars from it, which is still fantastic. It's just kind of protecting it, because I honestly don't know. Like, the shock of adding that supply really threw me back to where I'm like, I want to believe in crypto.com, and I still do, but what am I supposed to do? Like, I can't accept the fact that you add 70 billion coins to the supply, and I can't look at it any differently and be like, well, you're not going to add it again. You probably can. I don't know. The sky's the limit of what you can do to that supply, and now I don't want to be a part of it in the max level that I can. But I still plan on making a decent amount. I still plan on having the card associated with it, the credit card. And I still plan on staking CRO, and that's why the 50,000 is still sitting there, because that's probably going to be that amount. So let me know what you think about this. Are you going to make $1 million from CRO? You're going to become a CRO millionaire, or is it just the opportunity for you? And if it looks like it's passing by, you're going to take your gains. Let me know in the comment section below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more of these videos, and check out my link for BTCC down below, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.